Hi, Taylor T. Carlson, and I'm back with another video for you. One of my all-time favorite anime and manga franchises, of course, is the Dragon Ball series. Funimation, the company that's responsible for releasing the Dragon Ball franchise in North America, has released Dragon Ball Z more times than people can count. There have been many releases of the show over the years, and I've bought and watched just about all of them. But to me, the best release that they have done thus far, of course, would be the Dragon Boxes. Now, there are 7 of these that comprise the full 291 episode series, and again, they're my preferred release just because of a number of reasons. I'll get into those later. This is really going to be sort of a 2-part video. I'm going to unbox all 7 of my Dragon Boxes, and then after that, I'm going to do sort of a history of Dragon Ball Z digital releases in North America on DVD and Blu-ray. Just kind of a history, give an idea of what's been released, what you should buy, what you should avoid, and what you can expect as far as this series goes. So right here we've got Dragon Box 1. This one has, of course, Goku on the cover, who's the franchise's main character. Here's the side, and if you put all these together, it forms a picture of Goku and Gohan. I'll put these together after we finish the main portion of this review, and I'll show those off. Back cover, there's the spine. There's a Dragon Ball for what number set it is, so like Dragon Box 1 has 1 star. This has episodes 1 through 42. And these are each split into 3 parts. The outer 2 are the actual disc cases, whereas the center one is a booklet. So, here's part 1 of this set. Disc 1, of course, has Goku. Disc 2 has Piccolo, and then disc 3's got Gohan. Okay, then moving on, disc 4 has King Kai, disc 5 has Nappa, and then disc 6 has Vegeta. And the booklet included with this volume has Vegeta on this side, Goku on this side. So anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look inside the booklet. Got these rough sketches of the characters that actually look pretty cool. And then we go through here, like, here's something on, different attire worn by the characters. And if you look closer, this outfit that Bulma wears during the Trip-Dynamic Invisible Spaceship episodes is pretty obviously inspired by Ellen Ripley's outfit from the end of Alien. Of course, Akira Toriyama doing an homage, as he would so often do. You got, episode lists and descriptions of what happens in each episode. And here's a timeline of some of the things that have happened with the Dragon Ball franchise, like in the real world, as well as some real-world events that sum up, again, what was going on at the time. Here's like the inner cover page. I guess if you want to get technical, these read from right to left because they're based on the original Japanese Dragon Boxes. And like, here's a summary of Goku's earlier life, including some shots from the original Dragon Ball that predates Z. One thing I kind of like too, they've got character profiles in here and a little bit of a description of who everybody is and more stuff. There's even a family tree here, which is pretty cool. And this is Dragon Box 2. This time we've got Vegeta on the cover, although they incorrectly drew him with his Android and Cell Saga armor rather than his Namekian Saga no shoulder pad armor, which looks a little different. Then this one, of course, has episodes 43 through 84. And we'll crack this open. And the numbers in these actually go by the Dragon Box set as a whole. They don't go by individual sets. So like disc 1 of set 2 is actually disc 7 overall in the set. So disc 7 you've got Bulma in her spacesuit. Disc 8 you got First Form Frieza, and disc 9 you've got Dende. Then open up the second container. Disc 10, you've got Krillin. Disc 11, you've got some of the members of the Ginyu Force. You've got basically everyone but Captain Ginyu there. You got Raccoon, Birder, Jay, Skoldo, and then the next disc, last one in the set, this is number 12. That's got Captain Ginyu, of course. And then the book for this set, you got Final Form Frieza on this side and Vegeta on this side. Again, Vegeta's got his Cell Saga armor there, so I'm not really sure why he's wearing that in this set. And then right here, Volume 2 of the Dragon book. And right here, Vegeta's got his Buu Saga attire on, where he's not even wearing armor, so kind of an odd decision there. More character profiles. Got a few of the side characters this time around. You got Master Roshi, Chi-Chi, Bulma, Kami. And then more of the fellow Z fighters. This time around, you got, Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Yajirobe. And they actually use the original Japanese names here. So instead of Tien, it's Tenshin Han. And then Yamcha's name is spelled with the U in the middle, unlike the normal English dub name. Got another family tree here. And moving on, of course, you got the episode guide as well. Here's some noteworthy locations from throughout the series. We get past the episode guide, and there's a list of just, some animals throughout the series, including Master Roshi's turtle, and a few animals that Gohan encountered in the wild during his training before he started sparring with Piccolo. And more of the character sketches here as well. And some additional sketches, including the Ginyu Force and all of Frieza's forms that he transforms through. Okay, in Dragon Box 3, we've got First Form Frieza on the cover. There's the disc spines. There's the spine for the box, number 3. This has episodes 85 through 126. Okay, and disc 13, you've got Gohan. Disc 14, you've got Frieza's final form. And then disc 15, you got Super Saiyan Goku. 16, you've got Garlic Jr., Disc 17, Kami. Disc 18, Future Trunks. And then Dragon Book 3, we've got Final Form Frieza there. And then on this side, you got all of the Z Fighters teamed up. Inner cover, once again, we got Final Form Frieza. And more character profiles. And once again, they have Vegeta in his later outfit he'd wear during the Buu Saga, interestingly enough. Another character relationship guide, like right there you got Garlic Jr. and all of his henchmen from the anime filler Garlic Jr. Saga. Episode guide. Here's a thing of some overlooked moments, which is actually kind of amusing. Like, apparently Bulma has a Yamcha dartboard because he's made her so mad over the years. And then once again we got sketches, you got Garlic Jr.'s henchmen there, and you've even got Piccolo in his street clothes from the infamous driving school episode. Disc 4, set 4 of the Dragon boxes, we've got Imperfect Cell on the cover. And there's the back cover, and set 4, we've got episodes 127 through 168. So let's crack this one open as well. Disc 19, we've got Vegeta in his Android Cell Saga clothing. Disc 20, we've got Android 17 and 18. Disc 21, we have Imperfect Cell. Disc 22, we have Android 16. Disc 23, we have Piccolo. And Disc 24, we've got... is this Super Saiyan Vegeta? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be Vegeta. It's just kind of a profile shot there. But again, if that is Vegeta, he's wearing his Buu Saga clothing. So, go figure. Dragon Book 4, we've got Perfect Cell on this side, and then a panned out shot of Perfect Cell on the other side. Inner cover, of course, Perfect Cell is all over this set. More character profiles there. Another family tree. Episode guide. And these episode guides sometimes have little tidbits with some extra trivia as well, which I definitely appreciated. Here's some quotes from the series. There's a shot of Krillin there, and then some other interesting trivia. More character sketches. And here's some sketches of, vehicles and technology. They even got the sword there that Trunks uses, which is pretty nifty. Actually, I take it back. That's actually Gohan's sword that he uses when he's out in the wild. Okay, Dragon Box 5. This time we've got Child Gohan on the cover, even though by this point in the series he was starting to get a little older. So there's that side and that side. This time we get episodes 169 through 209 and 5-star Dragon Ball because it's the 5th set. Okay, disc 25 we've got Super Saiyan Goku. Disc 26 we've got Cell in his perfect form. And disc 27 we've got Super Saiyan Gohan, possibly Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. It's kind of hard to tell because those two forms don't look too super different. Disc 28 we've got Pikkon or Paikuhan, depending on what naming conventions you like to use. Disc 29, we've got the Great Saiyaman, and disc 30, Videl. Dragon Book 5, we've got all the Super Saiyans together there as they appeared near the end of the Cell Saga. On this side, again, we've got Child Gohan. Child Gohan again in the inner cover, and I noticed he's got the red bands and belt here, which is what he wore in the manga, whereas those were actually blue in the anime. So it looks like a lot of these sketches they used for the cover art and in the booklet actually are based more on the manga than the anime, which personally I think that's kind of a nice touch. Right there you got a profile for Gohan as the Great Saiyaman. Another family tree. The obligatory episode guide. Here's just some more, miscellaneous odds and ends there. Here's some more stuff on the Great Saiyaman. And got more character sketches, including Mr. Satan and his disciples and manager, or Hercule as they used to call him in the Funimation dub. More characters over here, including the other Kais and the Grand Kai. And more other characters from that era in these sketches. Okay, Dragon Box 6. This time we've got Piccolo on the cover because for whatever reason he wasn't on the cover of any of the earlier volumes. And this, of course, being Box 6, so we got the 6-star Dragon Ball there. This has episodes 210 through 250. Disc 31, we've got Kid Trunks. Disc 32, we got Super Saiyan Gohan unmasked in his Great Saiyaman outfit. And over here for Disc 33, we've got Babidi and Deborah. Disc 34, we've got Fat Majin Buu. Disc 35, we've got the Supreme Kai. And Disc 36, we have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Dragon Book 6, Piccolo on this cover with his cape and turban on. Here he is without the cape and turban on the other side. And of course he's on the inner cover as well. More character profiles. We've got Kibito and the Supreme Kai, or if we're going by the Japanese names, which they do use here, Kaioshin. Got another family tree here. Episode guides. Here's some stuff on the Saiyan race. That's kind of an interesting read. And then here we've got some stuff on the Namekian race. Got the obligatory character sketches here as well. They even got the little sketches there for the big-headed costumed versions from the reenactment of the Cell games, one of the more humorous parts of the series. More sketches there as well. And lastly, we come to Dragon Box 7. This one has Super Saiyan Goku on the cover. There's the spine. This time we got episodes 251 to 291. 291 being the series finale before Dragon Ball GT started. And you got your 7-star Dragon Ball there. Yeah, disc 37, you've got Gotenks. Disc 38, Super Majin Buu. And disc 39, Super Saiyan Vegito. And Dragon Book 7 got Kid Buu on this side and Super Saiyan Goku on this side. Super Saiyan Goku on the inner cover of this book as well. Got a few more character profiles in here too. One last family tree. There's Goku wearing the blue gi, which he wasn't wearing on the disc, oddly enough. Got our episode guides here. Here's an interesting article about like the characters' love interests. These books have a little bit of everything as far as odds and ends go. And then more character designs and things. Even some of the more obscure characters, which is kind of nice. And one more page of designs right there. And like I said, now we're going to do a brief history of Dragon Ball Z on home video. I'm not going to be covering the other Dragon Ball series here, including the original Dragon Ball or GT. I'm also not going to be looking at the movies or Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Kai, which is the edited version that cuts out a lot of the filler. The first Dragon Ball Z DVD releases were edited DVDs that only had an English dub track, and of course, those only go up to about the midway point of the Frieza saga, right around the point they're getting ready to fight the Ginyu Force. That's got the older dubbed version of the show, which people sometimes call the Pioneer dub, the Saban dub, the Ocean dub, whatever name you want to call it. And of course, I don't recommend those discs because they don't cover the full series. They only go up to that point, and they're edited and English language only. There was also a combined set of this older edited dub of the show called the Rock the Dragon box, which I don't really think there's a whole lot of appeal there except to like the most diehard of Dragon Ball Z fans who maybe grew up on the dubbed version and have a soft spot for it. The next DVD releases were actually uncut DVDs, which featured both the English language audio as well as the original Japanese audio subtitled in English. They started doing these where the edited ones left off about halfway through the Frieza saga when they start fighting the Ginyu Force, and Funimation released these all the way up to the end of Dragon Ball Z. But what about the earlier episodes? They had a bit of a dilemma there, so what they did is they went back and started releasing something called the Ultimate Uncut Edition DVDs, which were basically that same dubbed and subbed uncut treatment for the earlier episodes of the series. Unfortunately, they canceled these DVDs before they got to the end of the Vegeta saga. In other words, if you're just buying individual DVDs and not season sets or compilations like the Dragon boxes, it is literally impossible to buy all of Dragon Ball Z that way. And honestly, you wouldn't want to do that anyway, because they were charging like $25 per 3-episode disc, so I mean, you'd pay like well over $1,000 to get the whole series this way. What followed after this, what they aborted those Ultimate Uncut DVDs in favor of, was season sets. There were 9 season sets of the show, and this is the first time Dragon Ball Z have ever been made available in its entirety from start to finish in one consistent release. Unfortunately, these releases had a lot of problems. First of all, the picture was cropped so as to fit widescreen televisions. This meant you're cutting off the top and bottom of the picture, and as such, a lot of important detail from the image would go missing. And on top of that, the remastering techniques they used were very questionable, including digital noise reduction and a lot of color boosting, which removed a lot of detail from the image along with getting rid of the original film grain. A lot of people are questionable about film grain, but if something's shot on film, the grain should be there because removing film grain removes detail from the picture, and this is a very bad thing. Also, a lot of the times when the image would get really shaky in these discs, you start losing lines of detail, and it would look comically bad. I mean, and Dragon Ball Z has a lot of scenes where the picture is shaking around. So, I will give this release credit for being like the first affordable release of the full series in its entirety, but cropping the picture was just unforgivable, especially considering it was a straight crop that didn't take into consideration what was on screen at the time. What followed next was what I just showed you earlier, and that's the Dragon Boxes, which were released in 7 sets. Unfortunately, these were a limited edition release, and they weren't around very long. I only was able to get these because I bought them when they very first came out. These feature the full series, uncut, dubbed and subbed. They actually default to the Japanese subtitled track because they're focused more on fans of the original uncut Japanese version, and they're in the original 4:3 aspect ratio. They are not cropped, and the colors on these look a little, more faded, a little more, I would say, more natural and filmic looking without all the extra boosting that they had on the extra releases. I don't think anyone really knows what the original color scheme of Dragon Ball Z was, because I'm sure it's been changed and modified based on television broadcast standards and other things, but to date, this remains my favorite release of Dragon Ball Z. Following this, Funimation tried to release what were called the level sets. These were uncut, dubbed and subbed discs, which had a full frame-by-frame remastering with all the original film grain intact and probably the best-looking colors that the series has ever had. And these sets looked absolutely beautiful. This is the best that Dragon Ball Z has ever looked. Unfortunately, Funimation canceled these releases after only 2 releases because there apparently wasn't a lot of public interest. They'd already released the full series twice, even more than that if you count the older releases, and unfortunately public interest was just waning. If they'd waited a little longer and tried releasing these sets, later on after all the industry standards had changed as well as what people wanted, these probably would have been more successful. If Funimation had released the series from start to finish using this remastering technique, it would have been the definitive version of Dragon Ball Z on home video. Unfortunately, that was not to be. And the story doesn't end there either. Following those releases, Funimation went back to doing season sets, dubbed and subbed, on Blu-ray this time, but once again, they went back to using questionable remastering techniques and cropping the picture. However, these do look better than the earlier season DVD sets, and they at least did a reverse pan and scan, so they tried to keep the important stuff in the frame. So I'll give them a little bit of credit for that, but just the same, I have never bought these releases, and I never will, because at this point, I'm not going to buy the series cropped again, and I've got the Dragon Boxes, which, in my mind, are the definitive release. In more recent years, Funimation has released an extremely limited edition Blu-ray, supposedly remastered set, which is in, again, supposedly the original aspect ratio, but a lot of people say that it's still been cropped despite that. I really don't know enough about this release just because it's so limited, and again, I'm not going to shell out money for this set when I have the Dragon Boxes, and this is going to be outlandishly overpriced based on its limited edition factor and the fact people are going to try to resell it for heavy amounts of money. There are other reviews of this, on the internet, on YouTube. I do recommend looking those up. Are you a Dragon Ball Z fan? Have you picked up any of these releases? What do you think the definitive home video release of the series is? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, like this video if you found it helpful, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more content. I'm Taylor T. Carlson, and of course I will be seeing you in my next review.